Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, in every single one of you, right? You have the very thing that makes the narcissist involved in your life revalue you after discarding you. Every single one of you, right? You need to get all of this information out of your heads that makes out that the narcissist involved in your life is this infallible creature. They can move on. They don't have any feelings, right? You need to get that out of your head, right? The very thing that makes them revalue you is you developing yourself from the broken mess that you may be in, right? Or that you was in, right? And change your orientation. Instead of focusing on them, instead of focusing on trying to rekindle with them, trying to, because they know it exists in you, right? Don't blame yourself if you tried to fix things with them. Don't blame yourself if you reached out to them and they ghosted you or gave you silent treatment. Don't blame yourself. You've done what a genuine person would do. But the fact of the matter is, you've woken up now to the fact they're a narcissist, right? That's the first thing. Now, you may be hurt, you may be betrayed, you know, they could have mentally abused you, physically abused you, financially abused you. The list goes on, right? But if you, this might sound cliche, but if you channel your energy inwardly on you, solely on you, if you have children, then obviously focus on your family and your children, etc. But you need to make sure you focus on yourself. The first part of the journey that you need to embark on is the healing, right? You could have been out months or even years and you haven't appropriately healed yourself, right? Now, I'm not trying to trigger any of you now, but you need to make sure that you appropriately heal the wounds that are inflicted. Don't believe the devaluation. Don't believe the horrible derogatory things they said about you. Don't believe the way they left the relationship like it's factual, right? Focus on yourself and your healing first. What comes with that? When you focus all of your attention on yourself and what's important to you, right? And your healing, you eventually will discover something in your journey, right? There's numerous things, numerous opportunities in this world, right? Regardless of your financial status, regardless of the time you have, people have side hustles, they have things going on. But what I'm trying to say to you, I'm not telling you this. Remember, this is a disclaimer. I'm not telling you this information so you let them back into your life, right? You want to be the person that they look to that went on and done better without them. That's who you want to be in the eyes of the narcissist. Because when you break it down to the core, right, the narcissist involved in their life, that was involved in your life, at the time of discard, I'm not trying to trigger you now, but at the time of discard, it was more important for them to hurt you, right, than it was to stay with you. It was more important for them to break you emotionally, to cause you pain and hurt, for whichever reasons. Narcissistic injuries you inflicted, them not being able to control you the way they wanted, you know, them pushing you away so it pulls you in closer, variety of reasons, right? But it was more important for them at the time of discard for them to hurt you. And that's why if you try to engage with them, you try to have a civil discussion, the savior empath streak kicked in with you, and you tried to repair the relationship, they weren't trying to hear it. They weren't trying to hear it, right? Because it was more important for them to damage you and hurt you, right? It was more important for them to do that. But what you've got to understand is, if you really focus all of your attention on yourself, right? Focus on building yourself up. You're not building yourself up for them. You're building yourself up for you. But it comes with it. By you building yourself up in whichever way, right? In whichever way you want to better your life, better yourself, better your life, your family, whichever pursuit that you endeavor down, right? Because there's numerous opportunities. Whichever pursuit you want to endeavor down, you're going to begin shining brighter again, right? And then they're going to, look, you got to know, right? Regardless of how the situation was left with you and the narcissist involved in your life, regardless of how it was left, they keep tabs on you. They keep tabs on you. They keep watch from a distance because they want to see you struggling. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you in pain. And in the age of social media, they have access to be able to do that. They make fake accounts, numerous accounts they have. They could even be in your followers on your Instagram or one of your social media sites. I'm not that well versed on social media, but they could even be in one of your accounts from the time that they was involved in your life when they were with you, right? They could already be involved. They could already be in one of your accounts. You know, they followed you or something like that, right? And if you're not on social media, narcissists resort to, like you've heard me mention before, they resort to finding out information from people that may be connected to you through the grapevine. They resort to stalking, which happens, right? It's not talked about enough, but it happens, right? But look, just focus solely on yourself and on your healing first. Then something's going to come along your way. It's going to come along your way. I've spoken to numerous people that have written books, people that have done music, people that have done artwork, people that have discovered talents within themselves that they didn't know they had. You got to understand this narcissist that was involved in your life was preventing you from your rise, right? Whether you look at this as ordained by God, divinely orchestrated by God, the universe, however you want to look at this encounter that you have with a narcissist, the ending of it wasn't all down to their own doing, right? They may have thought it was all down to their own doing. They may have thought they were discarding you. They may have thought they could kick you to the curb and you're not going to recover. But realistically, God or the universe didn't want you around this person any longer. They didn't want you around them, right? Didn't want you around them. And you're going to be able to go on with your life, enrich your life, better your life. And now that might seem a long shot. A lot of what I mentioned might seem a long shot to some of you right now. I don't know exactly where you're at in your journey. But wherever you are, know that you can make it. You can make it through this. You can and you will. And it should be in your determination to make it through this, right? You don't need the validation of the narcissist that was involved in your life. You don't need the validation of them. You don't need them in your life. You don't. You need to get that firmly fixated in your mind, heart, and soul. You don't need them to live life. You don't need them. No matter if you was involved in a relationship with them for decades. Now, it may have just sounded like I'm talking about romantic partners, but realistically, this can happen with friends, family members, colleagues, associates, all the same. They all discard. They use and abuse, right? But the fact is, they end up doing themselves out of the blessing that they had in their lives. All of you are blessings. If you're an empath, if you're a chosen one, you are a blessing in the life of the narcissist that you was involved with. You was a true blessing, right? And they didn't realize that at the time. They didn't appreciate it. They didn't value you. They didn't give you your props, right? But they go on with their life and they encounter other individuals that are like them. And they encounter other toxic types of individuals, right? They encounter toxicity. There's nothing that makes them devoid from encountering toxicity within their own lives, right? And that is a big contrast to what they had with you, an extremely huge contrast that they experience in regards to you. But you don't need to worry about that, right? They're going to, the karma, you can call it God, call it karma, call it the universe. They're going to face repercussions for their actions that they've done. Internally, externally, they're going to, mentally, they're going to face repercussions, right? For what they've done. And what I meant by, internally is they're going to suffer, knowing that they discarded someone like yourself, right? Possibly for a new supply or other affiliates or whatever they done. And they're also going to suffer externally because they're around toxicity and they're around that. And it's a combination, right? But please, if you just focus on your healing first, right? I know I've been a bit all over the place in this video, but if you focus on your healing first, right, it's going to open up to brighter days. It's going to open up to brighter days. You're going to find something, right? Find something, right? You don't need to worry about them, right? If you better your own existence, for you, your family, whoever, better your own existence, better your own life, right? It doesn't have to be writing a book. It doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be artwork. It can be anything. It can be starting a business. I've spoken to people that have started businesses, right? They've started things in their journey and they've used all of that, not rage, but like frustration, lack of closure, hurt, betrayal, pain. They've transformed that, which is what empaths will do. They can transform darkness into light. And that's what I want you to do, right? And you will see, if you do this, right, the narcissist will revalue you. They will be watching from a distance. They will be finding out information about you. They will be, and they are. They do this even after decades. You only have to read in the comment section. Even after decades, people have experienced hoovers after decades, right? Why is that? Because the person was getting their lives together. They was doing things. They were doing well. It doesn't have to be decades. It can be after a number of years. It can be after a number of months. But I'm trying to say the person was getting on with their lives and doing better. And they tried to come along and throw a spanner in the works and tried to bring you back to the mindset that you were once in after the inevitable end that happened with you and the narcissist involved in your life. They tried to bring you back to that state of mind, and they think they can do that, but they can't. Because the fact of the matter is, because you've attended to your healing, because you've embarked on the journey, you've reached the point of indifference, where you no longer give a shit about this narcissist that was involved in your life. You no longer care about them. You no longer want nothing to do with them, right? You discover something, like a talent or a gift. You discover something that you're good at, something that you thrive in, right? And you do well. You become successful. Success is the best revenge. And this is what you go off and do, right? And they keep the watchful eye. And they're pissed. They're pissed that they missed out. Because the fact of the matter is, if you stayed in an entanglement, whether it was a romantic relationship, friendship, family member, colleague, or associate, if you stayed in those dynamics with the narcissist, I can't speak for God now, but I'm trying to say they were preventing you from achieving greatness, right? That's what you've got to understand. So I know you might be in the fog. I know you might be completely hurt, devastated, being devalued, Work on yourself. Work on your life. Work on bettering your existence. It's the ultimate revenge. It's the very thing that makes the narcissist revalue you. Because you know what they see from that? Do you know what they really see? They see you that they didn't break you. They see you as they didn't destroy you. And what does a narcissist want to do? A narcissist around the globe, a narcissist in your life, a narcissist around the globe, they want to destroy things. They want to break things. They want to tear things down, right? They want to cause chaos. They want to cause drama. This is what they thrive on. So when they bear witness to you at peace with yourself, you love yourself, you've built yourself with self-love, you've healed, you've gone on your journey, you found something that you like, that you enjoy, could be even in your career. But you find something and you start bettering your own existence. You start doing well for yourself. You start doing things, you know. They're pissed because they failed to destroy you. The longer that you stay hurt, betrayed, I'm not telling you to forgive them, right? I'm telling you, you know, you can forgive and not forget, right? You can forgive and not forget. But the only reason you're forgiven is for the benefit of your own soul. And it's more from an approach and a standpoint of you saying to yourself, like, you know what they are. You know they're weirdos. You know they're dusty weirdos. You know they haven't even got the comprehension that you do, you know. You know they don't have empathy like you do. You know they're messed up in the head, they're deranged, right? You expect no better from someone like that, you know. That's the standpoint that you address it from, you know. And by you having that approach and adopting that approach, you break from if you are in this business. Some of you will be well out of this stage, but I'm saying you may feel the necessity to re-engage with a narcissist. You may feel like that you need to re-engage, and that partly that comes from the denial of closure, right? But the further along in your healing journey you go, and if you reach the point of indifference, when you reach the point of indifference, because you will do if you attend to the healing journey correctly, you reach the point of indifference. You don't care about them. You don't care what they're doing. You don't care who they're with. You don't care. You literally don't care. You're at the point of indifference. You just do not give a shit about them, right? In the best possible way. You don't care. It's not even like you're wishing harm on them. You know, it's like you don't even want to see their life. You want nothing to do with them. You don't care whatsoever. You're not looking on their social media. You don't care, right? That's where you all need to be heading towards, right? So along your healing journey, use indifference as a beacon that you're aiming towards, right? Fill yourself with self-love. I should have emphasized more in this video about filling yourself with self-love, right? Because the narcissist devaluation, with their hooks getting into you, they can make you think less of yourself than what you're really worth, right? And building yourself with self-love is crucial, right? It's key, right? Rushing out there and finding new friends or finding a new romantic partner too soon, or new colleagues, or, you know, rushing out there and doing all that stuff too soon is counterproductive, you know, because the narcissist that was involved in your life has put you to a position where you think less of yourself. So then, even if you meet someone genuine and kind and authentic and pure and honest and true, you won't truly value that relationship, because you're at a point when you're not valuing yourself. But after you go through the healing, you're filling yourself with self-love. You're building yourself up again. You're becoming established in whatever field you're doing. You're becoming successful. And I'm not saying you have to become a multi-billionaire, trillionaire, or whatever like that. Just becoming successful in whatever your endeavor is, right? You know? Even writing a book, even just writing a book is an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Even just writing a book, let alone putting it on Amazon, selling it, or what other outlets that you decide to put it on, you know? But I've spoken to people that have done YouTube channels. I've spoken to people that have done numerous things with their lives. And this has helped with their healing tremendously. And it's what I want all of you to get involved in, because there's so many pursuits out there. There's so much options that you can get involved in, right? And I genuinely care, and I want you to just find something, you know? Don't stay in the fog, you know? Don't stay in the fog, you know? You battle through that darkness and you will get to the light. You'll be able to transform that dark experience you had with that narcissist involved in your life into a positive outcome. That's the gift that you have as an empath or a chosen one. Or even if you don't even think you're an empath or a chosen one, it's highly likely that you are and you're unawakened, you know? But a lot of you have awakened now. But, you know, if you've seen the red flags now of the narcissist that was involved in your life, it's highly likely that you have empathetic ability, you know? You may not be along on the healing journey as maybe some other individuals, but then you may be further ahead than some other individuals. You know what I'm saying? So everyone, after experiencing narcissistic abuse, is heading in the same direction collectively as a group of empaths, as a group of chosen ones. You're all heading in the same direction, right? And you're scattered amongst the masses. You know, you could have been raised in a dysfunctional family unit. You know, this could have been a romantic partner that you're involved with. This could be a friend that you're involved with. This could be in your workplace or your establishment at work with colleagues and associates, or even a narcissistic boss. You know, wherever this direction of this bad energy has come from, you know, use it as a motivation to actually better yourself and better your existence, you know, because it's the very thing you going on and succeeding without them, they feel left out. They feel pissed. And ultimately, it's because they didn't destroy you. That's what it comes down to. Because the narcissist involved in your life didn't destroy you, that's what they're pissed off at. That's what they're raging at. That's what they're furious at. That's what they're annoyed at. You know? They want, I need to address this correctly. With the facade, they act like they're God's gift. They act like the universe revolves around them. But deep down in the core of them, they know they're not worth shit. They have inferiority complexes. They have low self-esteem. They're constantly comparing themselves to everyone and everyone. They're constantly comparing themselves. But on the surface, they'll act like they're deserving of everything, you know? It's a very, how can I describe it? It's a very, like, contradictive behavior, you know? It's very contradictive. Like, the way that they portray themselves is somewhat so different from what they're actually experiencing within their own psyche, heart, mind, and soul, you know? They don't think very highly of themselves, and it's why they try to pull you down, you know? It's why they devalued you, you know? It's why they felt the need to assert control, you know, and manipulate. Because they don't think very highly of themselves, you know? Like, they masqueraded with the artificial light, pretending they're this, pretending they're that, mirroring you, pretending they're into things that you're into. You know, if you were to fly on a wall and you was actually bearing witness to whatever they're doing now, wherever they are in the world, you'll see a completely different person. Because they're like social chameleons. They change and chop and change to whoever they're around. They're not authentic like you are. They're not genuine like you are. They're not pure like you are, right? You need to understand that. So, wherever you are in your journey, just focus on bettering your existence. And it's going to start with something small, you know? It's going to start with a brainstorm of an idea for a novel or for a book of your own experience, you know, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, whatever. It's going to start with a business idea. It's going to start with the stroke of a paintbrush. You know, it's going to start with something, you know, and then you just build on top of that and build on top of that, you know. And then realistically, the real finishing blow for them, other than that, is you actually uniting with other authentic souls. You discovering now, because you have the discernment and the ability to judge well, and you will develop that discernment more and more over time. You have the ability to judge well. You'll be able to decipher those that are wicked, those that are evil, from those that are true and authentic and genuine, you know? And that's, I mentioned this in another video. You should be able to click that video right here.